Hello, welcome to my channel. You can find the worksheet below this video. Let's start our lesson. Our lesson 5, entire radicals and mixed radicals. And first, let's clarify what is entire radicals. Entire radicals is the number and entirely under the root symbol, like this one. For example, like square root 25. So this the whole number totally under the root symbol, or we can say cube root 17 of 17. So this 17 is totally under the root symbol. So this is entire radical. And what is mixed radical? Mixed radical is with a coefficient other than 1. For example, like 6 square root of 7, or 1/4 square root of 5. So we have a coefficient. Okay, so but this one should not be 1. If it's 1, it's like this one. This is a entire radical. Okay, and now let's move to converting entire radical to mixed radical. And let's see an example like square root 28. And first we need to find out the factors for 28. So, and we can find is 1 times 28, 2 times 14, and 4 times 7. And then for this part, and we can find the perfect square. And the perfect square, and in this way we can find is 4. So now, and we can rewrite square root 28 equals to 4 times 7, and then we can separate them like square root 4 times square root 7, and square root 4 equals to 2, and times square root 7, and it equals 2 square root 7. So this is the mixed radical. Okay, let's see another example. And square root 72. Square root 72, we can find the factors is 1 times 72, 2 times 36, 3 times 24, 4 times 18, 6 times 12, 8 times 9. And then we can find the perfect square is 36, 4, and 9. Which one should we choose? We need to choose the highest perfect square. And then we can choose the highest for 9 and 36, so it's 36. And then we can rewrite the original part like equals to 2 times 36, and then it's equals to square root 2 times square root of 36, and then it's equals to square root 2 times 6 equals to 6 square root 2. So this is the mixed radical. Okay, so now we have 2 examples of square root, and now I give you 2 examples about cube root. First example is, for example, like 54 cube root of 54. And in this way, the same things, we need to find the factors. It's 1 times 54, 2 times 27, and 6 times 9. And this time we need to find the perfect cube. And then we can find is 27. And then we can rewrite it like is 2 times 27, and it's equals to cube, and the cube root of 2 times cube root of 27, and this one is equals to cube root 2 times 3, and equals to 3 cube root 2. Okay, and let's try another example, like cube root 48. Okay, the same things. We need to find the factors, and 1 times 48, and 2 times 24, 3 times 8, and 4 times 12. And then we need to find the perfect cube, and so we only have 8, and then we equals to the cube root of 3 times 8, and then we can split them up, and is cube root 3 times cube root 8, and it's equals to cube root 3 times 2, and is 2 cube root 3. And now let's try converting mixed radicals to entire radicals. And first, let's still do the square root. Okay, and I have 1 is 2 square root 7, and for this part it equals to, because this is like the index and this is square root, the index is 2, so we need to write like square root 2 square times square root 7, and is equals to square root 4 times square root 7, and equals to 4 times 7 under the signs, root sign, and then it's square root of 28. Okay, and second, 6 square root 2. The first we need to write like square root 6 square times square root 2, and then we can get square root 36 times square root 2, and equals to 36 times 2 under the square root, and finally we get square root of 72. Okay, so this is the way you can convert the mixed radical to entire radicals. So this is the example for the square root. Now I will show you 2 more examples about cube roots. Okay, the first one is 3 cube roots of 2 cube root and 3 power to the power of 3, because now it's 3 now here, and times cube root of 2, and then we can write, so the 3 to the power of 3 is 27, and under the cube root and times cube root of 2, and then we can combine these two things, put them together, and 27 times 2 under the cube root, and it equals to 54 under the cube root. Okay, and the last example is 2 cube root 3. The first thing, still we put the 2 back to the cube root, so it's 3 and 2 and to the power of 3, and times the cube root of 3, so it's cube root 8 times cube root of 3, and then we combine them together, and it's cube root of 8 times 3, and it equals to 24 under the cube root. Thank you for watching. If you like my teaching, please click the subscribe button. Please let me know your questions in comments.